In this video, we are going to solve some questions. The first question is from number series. So let's try to find out the pattern. We need to fill up these two blanks here in the last, right? So I can see the pattern is simple and the pattern is 16 plus 4 is 20, right? Then alternatively plus 4, then again alternatively plus 4. So the next should be 36. Let's see the options. 36. Okay, so only one option is there. We will directly mark the answer. But as this is the practice video, right? So I'm solving complete question, but I'm giving you the technique that how you can eliminate the option and you can save your time, right? So if we see the complete logic, so alternatively, after two digits, it is incrementing by 10. So it should be incrementing by 10 again. So it should be 66. Here, two digits are 32 and 36. Then the next would be 66. So it is same here. Let's move on to the next. Find the next number in the series. So let's try to find out the pattern. Our series is incrementing, but not exponentially, right? So a basic incrementation is there. So let's try to use addition trick. Okay. So 13 plus 4 is 17. 17 plus 2 is 19. 19 plus 4 is 23. Okay. Then again, 23. And here, so if we follow this pattern like plus 4 plus 2 plus 4, but here it is not plus 2, right? It is actually plus 6. So our logic is failed here. Let's try the another logic. If we see in another way, so 13 is a prime number, 17 is the next prime number, 19 is the next prime number, 23 is the next prime number, 29 is the next prime number, then the next prime number is 31. So initially I was thinking that the logic is addition, but the logic was actually prime number, right? So you have to think in a different way. If one way is not working, try in another way. And you can use the trick like square of a number, cube of a number, whether they are prime, whether they are any Armstrong number or etc. Right? All these logic will be there in your number series. So that's why you need to practice more and more this type of questions. Let's move on to the next question. The next question is look at this series 77, 70, 63, 56, 49. So clearly our series is decrementing, right? So let's have a look. Here if we see that 77 minus 7 would be 70, then minus 7 would be 63, then minus 7, and then minus 7, right? So the logic is pretty simple. If we minus, so it will be 42. 42 will be the correct answer for this question. I hope it is clear to you. Let's move on to the next. So the next question is look at this series 41, 39, 35, 33, 29. So our series is decrementing only. 41 minus 2, right? 39. Then 39 minus 4 would become 35. Then 35 minus 33. Sorry. Yeah, 35. So it would be 2, right? Then minus 4, right? The difference is 4. Then 2. Right, so it should be 27. Here that logic worked actually. Minus 2, minus 4, 2, minus 2, minus 4, that alternatively, right? Let's move on to the next question. The next question is RQPONM, fill up IHGFED, find the missing letter. Okay, so let's try it reversibly because it would be easy. DEFGHI, so it should be JKL in reverse order only. Then MNOPQR, right? So this is nothing but a reversed alphabetical series. LKJ will be the correct answer. Option number 3 is the correct one, right? Let's move on to the next question. CKDL, EKFL, GKHL, then okay. So if we see that L at last is fixed, right? So let's see the option where the L is fixed. So this option is this option, right? So if you are in hurry, you can mark 50-50, right? So there is a high probability. That means there is a 50% probability that your answer would be correct. But if you will mark randomly, so only 25% will be the probability of marking the correct answer. So by guessing and by like hit and guess, you can save your time. you can save your probability. You can increase the probability to correct the answer. Okay, let's back. C, then alternatively E, right? C, D, E. So D is missing here, then E, F, G. So F is missing here. So G, H, H should be missed and I should come. So I should be the first letter and L should be the last letter. Again, our options are same only, right? Let's have a look here. K is fixed on the second place. So we will fix K on the second place. So K is fixed here. So I, K, G, L will be the correct answer. I hope it is clear to you. Let's move on to the next question. So these are the questions that are really very important. And this question was asked in Deloitte 2024 exam, right? So here the question is cause and effect. All the colleges in the city had to keep closed for 3 days a week. Many students have left the local colleges. So if we see that this is kind of a effect that something has happened and that's why the colleges are closed, right? So this is the effect of something, right? And this many students have left the local colleges. So again, this is the effect of something, right? So both are the effects, but the causes for those effects are independent. They are not interrelated. They are not related to each other, right? Both are effects, but of the independent causes. So it would be both are the effects of independent causes. So option number 3 will be the correct answer. Let's move on to the question. It was asked in Deloitte 2024. Right. The literacy rate in the city is increasing for the last 3 years. It is an effect. Usually it's an effect because something happened. That's why the change has happened. Right. So it is the effect. Okay. Let's move further. The city administration has conducted extensive literacy program to educate the illiterate people of the city. So basically it was the cause. This happened like this was the action and this was the result. So it was the cause and it was the effect, right? So second is the cause and first is the effect. So option number 1 will be the correct answer. Let's move on to the next question. The next question is from blood relationship. Again, a very important topic for every placement exam, not only for Deloitte, right? And the question is pointing to a woman in a photograph, Ram says, she is the only daughter of the mother in law of my only son. Okay, so here, just a minute. Ram is saying something, right? So I'm considering Ram is there, right? So he's saying that my only son. We will pick up from the last, my only son. That means Ram's only son, right? Son. Okay. So she is the only daughter of the mother-in-law of my only son. My only son, that means I have only one son, right? Mother-in-law of my only son. That means his wife's mother. My son's wife's mother will be her mother-in-law, right? So my only son, mother-in-law. So wife's mother, right? So she is the mother-in-law of Ram's. So Ram is talking that she is the only daughter of the mother-in-law of my only son. So my only son's mother-in-law is the only daughter, wife. So basically, Ram is talking about this girl, or we can say this female, right? So who is she? Actually, she is the daughter-in-law of Ram. So Ram is talking about her daughter-in-law. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Pointing to a man in a photograph, Mohan says he is the son of my wife's mother-in-law. How is the Mohan related to? How is the man related to Mohan? Okay, so pointing to a photograph, Mohan says he is the son. Okay, so he is the son of my wife's mother-in-law. That means he is the Mohan. He is Mohan. Mohan's wife, right? Mohan's wife. Mohan's wife mother-in-law. Who will be she? Simple. Mohan's mother, right? I'm taking as mummy, right? Simple. Mohan's mother. She is the mother-in-law of wife. So he is the son of my wife's mother-in-law. My wife's mother-in-law son, right? So Mohan is talking in a photograph that he is the son of. So maybe Mohan is looking at his picture only, or maybe his brother picture only, right? So what are the options? Brother is an option, not Mohan himself. So brother will be marked, right? Also, here the son, because it is not mentioned that Mohan is the only son. If it is only son, so Mohan is looking at his picture only. But if there is only son, so that means that Mohan is talking about his brother. Okay, let's move on to the next question. The next question is, we need to arrange in meaningful sequence: arrest, punishment, prison, crime, judgment. So first of all, someone commit crime, then only he is arrested, right? So crime, then arrest, then mm, after that they like judgment, right? In judgment, what is the punishment, then in punishment they send to prison, right? So it would be the correct, so 4 then 1, 4 1, so these options will be eliminated. 4 1, then judgment 5, so 4 1 5. Okay, then punishment 2, and then prison. So option number 1 will be the correct answer. Let's move on to here: dish, market, cooking, cutting vegetable. So first of all, we go to market, then we will buy some veggies, right? So 2 5, then we will cut them. 4, then we will cook them, then we will make a dish, right? So it would be the correct sequence. Let's move on to the questions from distance and direction. It is the very, very important topic, right? And this question was actually asked, but the distance word 40 or something, but name and all the things were same. Okay, so let's move on to the next. Tom left for his office in his car. So first of all, let's make the uh, direction chart: east, west, north, and south. North, south, east, and west. Okay. No, Tom left for his office's car. He traveled 5 kilometers towards the north. So suppose this is the starting point of Tom. He traveled 5 kilometers towards north. That means for upper side 5 kilometers, right? Then 10 kilometer towards the east, so 10 kilometer towards east. He then traveled 3 kilometer towards south, that means in the downside 3 kilometers, right? Then further he turned to the west turn, so that means here, and turned to 2 kilometer. He turned towards the south and traveled 2 kilometer, again towards south and turned 2 kilometer. How far and in which direction is he from starting point, right? So actually he's in, starting point is this and he's here at end, so he's in the east direction. And how many distance, right? So the complete distance is 10, and here this distance is 2, so this distance would be 10 minus 2, that means 8. So 8 meter east. What is the answer? 8 kilometer east. So the distance is given in kilometer, so we'll take kilometer. So 8 kilometer east. Let's move further. Deepak walked 20 meter towards south. So towards south, that means here, right? 20 meter. Okay, this is the starting point. Then he turned to his left and walked 15 meter. His left. So he was here. So his left will be this side, and he turned 15 meter. He again turned to his left and walked 20 meters. So this time his left would be here and walked 20 meters. So here it would be 20 meter. Finally, he turned to his right and walked 10 meters. So he walked 10 meter to right. How far and in which direction he is from starting point? So starting point this, right? Then 10 meter is this and 15 is this. That means 25 meter, and he is in the east direction. So 25 meter east direction will be the answer. Option number 4 will be the correct one. Let's move on to the next question. The next question is, if north east becomes north. Okay, so let me make the direction chart: north, south, east, and uh, west, right? And this direction is northeast, this direction is northwest, this direction is southeast, and this direction is southwest, right? If northeast becomes north, so if this northeast becomes north, right? So let's try out. Is If this will become north, so the opposite will be south, that means this will become south, right? Okay, all right. So then this this will become also change. Now north and northwest becomes the west. northwest becomes the west, so it will become west, right? So if it is west, so it would be east, right? What will be the east become? According so we don't have to use like auto change, but accordingly we need to change that. What will be the east become? Here, this is east, right? So here, what will be it? It will become northeast basically, right? It will become northeast. Here we are talking about if northeast becomes north and northwest becomes the west. So we have converted this north to northeast, right? Northeast becomes north. So it will become north here. Then northwest becomes west. North becomes west. Northwest becomes west. What will be the east become? So if we see here that after that, northwest becomes west. So best opposite will be east, right? Best opposite will be east. Now north here, east here. So it would be northeast. It would be southwest. It would be northwest, and it would be southeast. So it is asking for what will be east become. So this east has become northeast, right? So northeast will be the answer. Let's move on to the next. Mahesh was standing facing a pole in the morning after sunrise. So these are the directions, right? South, north, east, and west. North, Mahesh was standing facing a pole after sunrise. The shadow of the pole fell exactly to his left. So sunrise is here, so the shadow will be there only, right? So at left side, so which direction he is facing? So if he is facing north, then only the shadow will goes to left side, so he is standing in north direction. Questions from logical reasoning. Okay, which of the following diagrams correctly shows the relationship between potato, food, and vegetables? So usually what happens is all potato is a vegetable, right? So I'm considering these are the potatoes, and all potatoes are vegetables for sure, and every vegetable is food, right? So this Venn diagram will represent the correct relationship between these among these three, right? So this is A. I think it is clear to you. And this Venn diagram question is not only important for a Deloitte exam, but also important for a Accenture, for Infosys, because reasoning contains a lot of topics, and from anywhere they can give you the question. So I'm doing this video in such a way that each and every topics we are covering in somehow, right? So let's move on to the next question. The next question is again, which of the following diagrams correctly shows the relationship between tea, coffee, and beverages? So, tea and coffee, right? Both are the beverages. So, both are the part of beverages. So, this C option will be the correct answer for this question. I hope it is clear to you. Let's move on to the next question. So, the next question is a camera always has. So, although these things are important, right? Somehow, all the things, or maybe more than one thing is important, but what is the most important thing? We need to figure it out, right? So, for a camera without lens, there is nothing, right? So, lens will be the correct answer here. Similarly, a hospital always has bed, cafeteria, chemist shop, doctor, nurse. See, doesn't matter there are beds or not, because in COVID-19 time, like hospitals were there where beds were not available, etc. Cafeteria is not available, chemist shop is not. But the main important thing in a hospital is doctor. Without a doctor, hospital is not a hospital, right? So the main important, the most important thing we need to figure out, right? Let's move on to the next question. uh, slowly we are increasing the level of difficulty. Okay, the next question is here, this is the statement, right? And these are the two we can say this is our question, and these are the two statements given to us, first and second. We need to find out, this is the questions from data sufficiency, right? Here we need to find out the answer, and we need to find out, first of all we need to check whether only one is enough to find out the answer, right? And then we will check whether second is also able to find out the answer. Like first of all, we need to check individually for both of the sentences. If they are not, so we will combine them. If we can find the answer, so we will mark the answer like both are needed. But if we are not getting the answer even after merging these two statements, so we will mark that no any statement is enough for finding out the answer or similar way. These are the five options available, right? So for this question, how much amount Suresh has to pay for the new car in the buyback schema? So this is the first statement. The cost of the new car was four times the resale value of his old car. So first we need to check for only first statement that whether this statement is enough to find out the answer. So in this answer, basically we don't have any numerical value so that we can calculate the value for new car that Suresh need to pay, right? So we just have some theoretical information but not any numerical value so that we can find out the actual answer or the accurate answer. If we see this second statement alone, so his old car is valued 35,000 rupee under this schema. So this time you don't need to see this first statement, just we are taking this second statement. So here we just have that old car value is 35,000. So if we know that this is old car value, but we need to buy a new car, so again second statement is also not enough, alone is not enough. What if we merge both of these two, right? So the cost of the new car was four times the resale value of his old car. So old car value we know, so the four time value of this old car will be 35,000 na. So it will become uh, 1,40,000, right? It will be the complete value. But what it is saying that the cost of new car was four times the resale value of his old car. So this is the complete value. If we are selling the old car, so this value will be subtracted from it, right? So the rest value will be the amount of paying that Suresh need to pay for buying a new car, right? The like after the subtraction, whatever value will come, that will be the answer. So after merging both of the statements, we are able to find out the answer. So the answer would be uh, 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 both 1 and 2 are needed for finding out the answer, right? This is how we need to solve this type of question, and this data sufficiency questions are really very important for every placement exam, right, for these service based companies. Let's move on to the next question. What is Tom's rank in the class? So we need to find out the answer. So first of all, we will be checking only first statement independently. Then we will be checking second statement independently. If we are finding out the answer, so we will mark accordingly. If we are not finding out our answer, so we will merge and then check again, right? So what is Tom's rank in the class? Okay, so let's check only first statement. There are 45 students in the class. So with the help of this information only that there are 45 students in class, are we able to find out the answer that what is the Tom rank? No, right? So this time let's check for second. Here we are not seeing for first statement, right? So 42 students scored less than Tom. See, this time we don't know that there are 45 students, right? Forget about it. Just forget about it. Here we are only checking 42 students scored less than Tom. So we know that 42 students like students less than scored less than Tom. But what is the Tom rank, right? Maybe like how many persons or how many students are before Tom? We don't know. But what if we merge those two, right? So if there are total 45 students and 42 students scored less than Tom, so only three students are there who have the greater marks than Tom, right? So like 45 is total, 42 are less than Tom. So here Tom is relying here, okay. So Tom is relying on the third rank, right? So Tom rank is third. So we are able to find out the answer, but after combining both of the statements. So both 1 and 2 are needed. So option number 5 will become the answer for this question. I hope it is clear to you. Let's move on to the next question. The next question is, what is monthly salary of Raman? Okay, again from data sufficiency, right? I will give you a hint and you need to tell me the answer in homework, right? In comment section, you need to find out. What is monthly salary of Raman? Raman gets 20% more than Suresh, while Suresh gets 10% less than Rahul. Okay, so if we check for this only, that Raman gets 20% more than Suresh, while Suresh gets 10% less than Rahul. See, if we know that if anyhow we have the amount how much Rahul earns, what is the salary of Rahul, then we can figure out that what is the actual salary or the accurate salary of Raman, right? Because we will find out the 10%, then the 20%, etc. But here we don't know about the exact value, exact amount that Rahul earns, right? So in next, Rahul's monthly salary is 15,000. So if we don't have this information, so we can't again figure it out, right? But again, if we merge them together, so we have that Rahul earns this much. Okay, I'm solving this question. Forget about homework. So Rahul monthly salary is 15,000 rupee and Suresh gets 10% less than Rahul. So we will find out that what is the 10% of Rahul's salary. So it will be 1500, right? So this 1500 will be subtracted from Rahul's actual salary, right? So whatever the amount will come, that will be the salary of Suresh, right? That will be the salary of Suresh. Then what it is saying, Raman gets 20% more than Suresh. So this amount, 20%, this 20% of this amount, whatever the answer will come, will be added in that, right? So that's how we can find out the salary of Raman. So for that also both 1 and 2 are needed. I hope it is clear to you, right? So let's move on to the next question, that is from coding decoding. Again, a very important topic, right? So I'm erasing it. Okay. So the next question is, if army is written as this, okay, let me write out. Army is written as ASOB. Then judge will written as JUDGE. Okay. So, all right, A is written as A only. So, let's give them the number. In alphabet, A comes on first, R comes on 18th, M comes on 13th, and Y comes on 25th, right? There is a shortcut trick to remember this, the number of this. If you want the shortcut trick, comment down that yes, ma'am, we want. Then in the next video, I will share the shortcut trick, right? In Exchanger video, I have shared multiple times, but for this series, I will again share. Right, again 1, then it is 19, and O, and it's 15, and V 2. Okay, so this will remain same, so it will remain same. Okay, here 18, 19. So the next would be, so STUV. Then the next would be V, right? So let's see in the option that what we have, JV. So option number 2 will be the answer, right? Directly we can eliminate the option. Otherwise, by following the same pattern, you can find out the answer, right? Let's move on to the next question. Again from coding to coding. Okay. So here BAT is written as this. BAT is written as PATV. Then lost is written as POSTL. So how wing will written, right? So if we see that P is additional here, so in our answer also P will be there, right? Then if we see that this is nothing but cross rule, right? This is nothing but cross rule from the second letter, right? So here W is the first letter, I is the second letter. So we will shift it, I. Then we will shift it, N, right? Then this would, and then it is also, right? T is also, so G will also shift, ping. Then this will be the last, right? Here, W. So ping W. So ping W. Option number 2 will be the correct answer. I hope it is clear to you. Let's move on to the next question. Airline is written as this. Okay, let me write down airline. ENILRIA and 7. Then railway. is written as how? See, the pattern is pretty simple. Just crossing game. E E N N I L here, R here, I here, and A here. And how many total numbers are there? Letters are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 is there. Similarly, we need to do this. Y A W L I A R. And how many letters are there? 4 and 3, 7. So it would become YAWLIAR 7, right? So option number 1 will be the correct answer. I hope it is clear to you. So the rule is very simple, cross. See, there are certain cases, there are certain rules, or we can say there are certain tickets for this coding decoding questions, that if you will practice these type of questions again and again, so you will easily find out that okay, that's the pattern here, right? Let's move on to the next question. Here, one is assertion and second is reason. We need to find out that how they are related, right? So the first is assertion is James Watt invented the steam engine. Reason, it was invented to pump out the water from the flooded mine. So here your GK will work, right? James Watt invented the steam engine. Yes, it is true. Yes. James was the person who invented the steam engine, and that was the reason also that it was invented for pumping out the water from the flooded mines, right? So here both the things are true. So if we see that both assertion and reason are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. Yes, it is true, because the reason we have discussed here, na, it is true that yes, that was the reason that why steam engine was invented, right? So it is the answer. Let's move on to the next question. Assertion is given increased level of carbon dioxide in atmosphere would melt the polar ice. Yes, it is true, because carbon dioxide level is increasing day by day, right? So it has started to melt that polar ice, right? But reason is given. You need to find out whether it is okay according to the assertion or not, right? So increased level of carbon dioxide would increase the temperature. Of course, increase like carbon dioxide level, if it will increase, so temperature will also increase. That's why the polar ice is melting, right? So yes, assertion is correct and reason is also correct, and it is the correct explanation of this. So option number A will be the correct answer for this again. Let's move on to the next question. Next question is Mohan runs faster than Sohan. So Mohan runs faster than Sohan, right? Pooja runs faster than Mohan. So if Pooja runs faster than Mohan, so Pooja must be running here, right? So if the first two statements are true, the third statement is. So if they are true, then this third statement is Sohan runs faster than Pooja. See, Sohan is the slowest runner. How he can run faster than Pooja if these two statements, starting two statements are true? So the third statement, according to these starting two statement, is false, right? So first one will be the correct answer. Let's move on to the next question. Tom weighs less than Peter. So Peter weighs more than Tom, right? Simple. Tom weighs more than John. So Tom weighs more than John. That means John has the smallest weight. Now, if the first statement are true, if first two statements are true, then the third statement is. What is the third statement? Out of these three boys, John weighs the least. Yes, John weighs the least. So yes, it is true. So option number 2 will be the correct answer. I hope it is clear to you. Let's move on to the next question. The next question is statement is a severe drought is reported in many states of the country. Now, what should be the strong course of action, right? If there is drought, so the country must be struggling with water, food, and some there will be lots of lacking, right? Water, food, and we can say livelihood, etc. Right? So government should provide these things. If we see that this first course of action, the government should immediately provide financial assistance to the people of the affected states. The second is the government should immediately send food, water, and fodder to the affected states to save people and livestock. Yes, the second course of action is uh, like is strong, because financially is not that much important at that time if the country is dealing or is struggling with drought, right? So the main idea is that government should provide food, water, and fodder, and to save our livestock, right? So option number two, that only two follows, will be the correct answer for this question. Let's move on to the last question for today, statement and conclusions. Now for solving these type of a statement and conclusion, always remember that you don't need to have any figure in your mind, right? Whatever is written in the statement is 100% true, you need to consider. You don't use your own mind, right? The statements are all boots are sleepers, so these are the boots, and all boots are sleeper. That means here I am taking like this, right? No slipper is a shoe. So no slipper, that means this, no slipper can be shoe, or no slipper is a shoe, right? All shoes are caps. All shoes are caps. Okay. Now let's read out the conclusion. Some boots are caps. So boots are here, right? Boots are here. Some boots are caps. See, if I say that this is UP, right? And this is India. And I'm saying that India cannot be Pakistan. How can UP be Pakistan? Similarly, here, boots, here sleeper cannot be shoe or caps. So how boots can be shoe or caps, right? So it is not following. All sleepers are boots. All sleepers are boots. See, no, all boots are sleeper, right? But all sleeper are boots? No. Some caps are slippers. Some caps are slipper. No any cap can slipper because it is written in the statement, right? So it is also not following. All boots are slippers. Yes, all boots are slipper. It is true. So option number fourth. That means only fourth follows will be the correct answer. And this one you need to tell me in comment section as your homework. This is your homework only, right? So yeah, I think all the questions are clear to you and you don't have any doubt. But still, if you have doubt, you can ask me in the comment section. And please share this series with your friends so that I can bring more and more videos for you, right? So yeah, let's meet in the next video. Till then, bye bye and take care.